Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe Jaya Narasimha Dev Jaya Narasimha Dev Narasimha Dev Jaya Narasimha Dev Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Prabhupada 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 जब विश्वपाद ब्रह्मंड परिगाचार्य अश्वत्थ श्रीमद ईश्वरी भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की इस्कॉन बीबीटी फाउंडर आचार्य श्रील प्रभुपाद की जब विश्वपाद ब्रह्मंड परिगाचार्य अश्वत्थ श्रीमद भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी महाराज श्रील प्रभुपाद की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की नामाचार्य श्रीला हरिदास ठाकुर की वृंदावन षट गोस्वामी प्रभुगण की प्रेम से कहिए जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद की श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरी गोवर्धन की मायापुर नवदीप धाम की ब्रजभूमि मथुरा वृंदावन धाम की श्री श्री जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की गंगा माँ यमुना माई की भक्ति देवी तुलसी महारानी की निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे All glories to Assembly devotees, All glories to Samal devotees, Shri Krishna. All glories to Samal devotees. All glories, all glories, all glories, Shri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Om Ajnanatimmirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshunmilitam Mena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Mena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Sapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Savadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Shahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitam Sha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashat Desatarine Vancha Kalpatru Bhyasya Kripa Sindhu Bhaivacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Panchatattvatakam Krishnam Bhaktarupa Surupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakam Namami Bhakti Saktikam Nityanandam Aham Naumi Sarvananda Karam Param Harinamam Pradam Devam Avadhuta Shiromani Namo Mahamadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gauratuchena He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchan Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayanam Namaskritam Naran Sheva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jaya Mudirayet Nashtaprayeshva Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Makam Karoti Vashalam Pangam Langayatim Giri Yat Kripatam Bande Shri Guru Dinatarina Paramanandam Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Hari Om Tat Sat Namo Vishnu Hare Krishna. So we are reading from 7th canto today, 7th chapter and verse number 29. So chapter entitled What Prahlad Learned in the Womb. So please repeat after me. tatropāya-sahasrāṇām ayam bhagavatoditaḥ yad īśvare bhagavati yathā yair añjasā ratiḥ tatropāya-sahasrāṇām ayaṁ bhagavatoditaḥ yad īśvare bhagavati yathā yair añjasā ratiḥ tatropāya-sahasrāṇām ayaṁ bhagavatoditaḥ yad īśvare bhagavati yathā yair añjasā ratiḥ. I'd like to read. tatropāya-sahasrāṇām ayaṁ bhagavatoditaḥ tatropāya-sahasrāṇām ayaṁ bhagavatoditaḥ yad īśvare bhagavati yathā yair añjasā ratiḥ. tatropāya-sahasrāṇām ayaṁ bhagavatoditaḥ yad īśvare bhagavati yathā yair añjasā ratiḥ. tatropāya-sahasrāṇām ayaṁ bhagavatoditaḥ īśvare bhagavati yathā yair añjasā ratiḥ. tatropāya-sahasrāṇām īśvare bhagavati yathā yair añjasā ratiḥ. tatropāya-sahasrāṇām ayaṁ bhagavatoditaḥ īśvare bhagavati yathā yair añjasā ratiḥ. Okay, so word to word translation. Tatra, in that connection, getting out of the entanglement of material conditioning. Upāya, of processes. Sahasrāṇām, of many thousands. Ayaṁ, this. Bhagavatā uditaḥ, given by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Yath, which. īśvare, to the Lord. Bhagavati, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Yathā, as much as. Yair, by which. añjasā, quickly. Ratiḥ, attachment with love and affection. So now translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. Of the different processes recommended for disentanglement from material life, the one personally explained and accepted by the Supreme Personality of Godhead should be considered all perfect. The process is the performance of duties by which love for the Supreme Lord develops. Purport. Among the linking process that elevate one from bondage to material contamination, the one recommended by the Supreme Personality of Godhead should be accepted as the best. The process is clearly explained in Bhagavad-gītā, where the Lord says, sarva-dharmān parityajya māmekam saranam vraja. Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. This process is the best because the Lord assures aham tvam sarva-pāpebhyo mokshisyami ma sucha. I shall deliver you from all sinful reaction. Do not fear. There is no need to be worried, for the Lord Himself assures that He will care for His devotees and save him from the reaction of sinful activities. Material bondage is a result of sinful activity. Therefore, since the Lord assures that He will dissipate the result of fruitive material activities, there is no need to be worried. This process of understanding one's position as the spirit soul and then engaging oneself in devotional service is therefore the best. The entire Vedic program is based on this principle, and one can understand it as recommended in the Vedas. Yasya deve para bhaktir yathā deve tatha guru tasyate kathito hi arthat prakasante mahatmana. Unto those great souls who have implicit faith in both the Lord and the spiritual master, all the imports of Vedic knowledge are automatically revealed. Shvetaksara Upanishad 6.23. One must accept the pure devotee, the representative of God, as one's guru, and then offer him all the respects one would offer the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is the secret of success. For one who adopts this method, the perfect process is revealed. In this verse, the word yair, añjasā, ratiḥ indicate that by offering service and surrendering to the spiritual master, one is elevated to devotional service. And by performing devotional service, one gradually becomes attached to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Because of this attachment to the Lord, one can understand the Lord. In other words, one can understand what the Lord's position is, what our position is, and what our relationship is. All this can be understood very easily by the simple method of Bhakti Yoga. As soon as one is situated on the platform of Bhakti Yoga, the root cause of one's suffering and material bondage is destroyed. This is clearly explained in the next verse, which gives the secret of success. So thus ends the translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. So Hare Krishna, welcome all of you for today's Srimad Bhagavatam class. So before speaking anything on this subject matter, I seek blessing from all the devotees. Please bless me so that I can say some words in the glorification of Lord and His pure devotee, as well as for my own purification. So each day a chapter, a theme. So today's theme, as the chapter goes, what Prahlad learned in the womb. So very interesting, because most of the teaching he already gave in the previous kind of chapter. So his all classmates were amazed that he's just a kid, and how come he's explaining like very kind of, I would say, the advanced knowledge, because his age is very small, 5 years old, and he is teaching all, like as Achin Chaitanya Prabhu touched about the marriage life, everything. So person could understand that how come he knows about different aspects of life, because he has not yet reached to that level. And very important that he is having so much conviction. When he was preaching to them, he was too much convinced, not in a kind of like false ego, but in a right consciousness, that he was preaching that yes, what I am speaking, I have the realized knowledge. So in that way, these all his classmates, they become amazed, and they asked this question that how come you got this knowledge. So this says in the previous verse, chapter, the last verse, there is saying, the sons of the demon replied, Dear Prahlad, neither you nor we know any teacher or spiritual master other than Sanda and Amarka, the son of Sukracharya. After all, we are children and they are controllers. For you especially, who always remain within the palace, it's very difficult to associate with a great personality. Dear friend, most gentle one, would you kindly explain how it was possible for you to hear Narada? Kindly dispel our doubts in this regard. So this was the query which his all classmates they had. And then because as Prabhupada many times he quoted that how we can understand that some person is a fool or intelligent. There are some symptoms. So Prabhupada says that a fool is revealed the moment he speaks. I am not saying about here, but here Prahlad Maharaj looking like a very ordinary, okay, same classmate, but he is very highly elevated person. He is a pure devotee of Lord. So that they could understand. But how this thing took place? Because they were seeing in external perspective that he is a son of great demon. Means we are demon, means the classmates they were thinking that we are demons and he is the son of great demon, Hiranyakasipu. And his father is against all this Vedic principle, all sadhus and everyone. That how could he got this knowledge? So that's what they asked about all this. Then Prahlad Maharaj started explaining this, how the past incident took place. So Prahlad Maharaj is saying from the second verse in this chapter, he is explaining that when our father Hiranyakasipu went to Mandarachal mountain to execute severe austerity, in his absence, the demigods headed by King Indra made a severe attempt to subdue all the demons in the warfare. And then as subsequent he is explaining that how this Indradev, he comes and he kinds of all the demons, they fled due to the fear and they captured Kayadu. And they thought that now Kayadu is pregnant. So she also must be going to give a birth to a great demon. Already now they got kind of hint that what this Hiranyakasipu is going to do. Because already he started very severe austerities, which in the previous chapter we already heard, that his body was totally finished. Nothing was left, only the bones were there. So these kind of severe austerities, so the demigods, they were amazed that what to do. Now this is another great demon. So we have they thought that now we have series of demons. How many we will, face demons? So they thought that, okay, let's do something. But they were aware of abortion. So they didn't do this abortion case. That, okay, we will abort the baby. So many times Prabhupada says that nowadays demons are less than the demon qualities. Because they don't know this child abortion is how severe, how sinful activity this. And there are various Prabhupada's quotes and classes are also there, that how this is a giving child to a new life, like the soul giving a new birth, and how we should be giving a Krishna conscious child. So these all things are explained there. So anyway, although he was like thinking that demons are no problem, but let him take birth first. Let him take birth first, then we will kill him, then we will finish. Because that time he will not have so much strength and we will not have so much sinful reactions. Because as in the previous cantos we have seen that Indra was inflicted with the sinful reactions. So he was aware of that I killed Vishwarup, I killed this Vritrasur. So these all sinful actions were chasing me. And somehow I have to get rid of all this thing. So he was thinking that, okay, I don't want to take such, kind of sinful actions. So he said, okay, wait. But in meantime, what happened? Narad Muni appeared. And Narad Muni said to Indra, the child within this woman's womb is the faultless and sinless. Indeed, he is a great devotee, a powerful servant of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, you will not be able to kill him. In the first instance only, he destroyed their thoughts. The plan which you had that you want to kill him, this is not possible for you. You cannot do it because he is devotee and Krishna is protecting him. So leave that plan. So that's gone. Okay. Then Narad Muni, because Prabhupada says in the purport that he accepted the word of Narad Muni. Why? because they understood that Narad Muni is authority. So when we take the word of authority, then our life becomes very easy. Although in the beginning it looks like very scary, strange thing, like as for the Indra could have asked, like, as a materialist person, that how come he's a devotee? He has not yet taken birth, he has not started his bhakti, no symptoms of anything. But he accepted the word of Narad Muni, that okay, you said, I take your word as authority, and now they left it. Then very interesting, Narad Muni, he gave shelter to Kayadu in his ashram. And in one of the lecture, Prabhupada said that we should not do it, thinking that okay, Narad Muni gave shelter to Kayadu, and we are very advanced devotee. So, and then Prabhupada's quote that was that we should not be sitting alone with our mother, sister, daughter. So Prabhupada is very intelligent to quote various verses and many things that where we will be deviated. So anyway, Narad Muni, he gave the shelter to Kayadu, and Kayadu, she was serving. And Kayadu also, she said something, that my mother being pregnant desired the safety of her embryo and desired to give birth after her husband's arrival. So she wanted to give birth to Prahlad Maharaj after arrival of his husband. So how many years he did tapasya? Any guess? 100 celestial years. We heard already about Parikshit Maharaj. Now Sukdev Goswami. Sukdev Goswami, he stayed in 16 years in the womb. But now Prahlad Maharaj exceeded all. 100 celestial years. So 100 celestial years he was in the womb. And thus he stayed at Narad Muni's ashram, where she rendered service unto Narad Muni with great devotion. So she rendered the services, and Narad Muni, and in the further verse he is saying, Narad Muni delivered his instruction both to me who are within the womb. So many times outside, in general, like when I was kid, I used to say that I used to see in like in my area, I don't know about other places, but what I had experienced, so I'm just sharing that one, that this was a like custom. Whenever they see any kind of activities in their life, whether it's like birth, marriage or anything, they take shelter of devotees, like we say here in Pandiji, we go to Pandiji, we ask about the Sumhurt and other thing. And then we go to, it depends like, who is situated in which place, they take shelter of that particular, it's like, Krishna temple or maybe some demigod temple. But they understand that yes, very important that we have to bring Lord Krishna or, someone auspiciousness in our life who can guide us. So in that relation, many of them, they used to visit temples, they used to hear Bhagavad-gītā and other this kind of instructions. So I don't know how to explain that, but I saw that yes, some effect was there, that yes, how much we are serious, because as here it says that the mother was not so attentive. That's what she could not carry on the message the further. But Prahlad Maharaj was very serious. So how much we are serious, how we are taking up, that's very important. Like even in our life, I have seen in my life that I learned so many things, but even if I don't use it, then it's a very common saying, use it or lose it, in an English saying. That if we apply, if we are constantly meditating, constantly doing the things in our life, then it becomes very easy. So for Prahlad Maharaj, it becomes very, very easy. Because he had association till 100 celestial years. Yeah, definitely we know that this Narad Muni, he doesn't stay in one place. Definitely he might be moving to different various places for preaching. And from there only, I was like amazed that why, although Prahlad Maharaj is a kind of, how to say this one? Like every Sravanam Kirtan process, we have one person who has perfected that process. So Prahlad Maharaj, he perfected in the Smaranam, the remembrance process. But this whole chapter when I was reading, then I could just understand that this is the effect of Sravanam. Because he was in the womb. So quite interesting that although he is, I would say that Acharya of Smaranam, but he is glorifying the Smaranam. Because they are not having any enemies. And as Bhagavatam says that this is for the Nirmatsaranam. So I was like, when I was reading, it was like amazed that yes, this is the mood they had, that they are having no envy of anything. Because sometimes we get stuck to some of our preaching. And nowadays some of them, they say that, oh, no, my preaching is good, my preaching is good. But all preaching is only for the satisfying of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So that's what, nothing is like less, nothing is higher, but definitely the more important has been given to Sravanam. Because the more we hear, we understand. Because it begins from the Sravanam. As today is Rukmini Dwadasi. So the Rukmini also exemplified this process. Because Rukmini Devi also, she was in her own palace. Narad Muni used to visit sometimes. And he used to glorify the qualities of Lord Krishna. And within the heart, Rukmini Devi accepted Lord Krishna as her husband. She accepted that yes, now I want to marry only Lord Krishna. Although there was arrangements made to get married to this Sisupal and so many things, but she was determined that no, I have to marry only Lord Krishna. So that kind of conviction, determination they had. She has not seen Lord Krishna. Definitely, another way we can say she is eternal consort of Lord, so she might be knowing. But definitely as this pastime goes, we can see that yes, she has not having direct audience till now of Lord Krishna. But she got so much love and affection towards Lord Krishna that she wanted to marry only Lord Krishna. So anyway, and we know that how this all took place, and later she got married to Lord Krishna. So here also in Prahlad Maharaj case, we see that when all this pastime, everything was explained, everything, so he was just meditating. And when Lord gave him darshan, it was totally different darshan. Because it was Narasimha. As we know that, Lord is everything, his lotus hands are so soft, everything. But his form is different. Narasimha, half lion, half man. So how could he understand? Because he has not seen first Narad Muni also. Because after the Kayadu's husband, Hiranyakasipu came, she immediately departed from the ashram and then she gave birth. So we see that this Prahlad Maharaj is also having not so much like audience of Narada Muni in a physical. And Prahlad, he heard about Narasimha, and Narasimha, Narad Muni didn't give description of how Narasimha is going to appear. So quite interesting that when he appeared, this Lakshmi Devi and others, they pushed Prahlad Maharaj. Okay, go. Now Lord has appeared for you. Now you pacify him. So I don't want to jump into the another chapter, which other speakers will be taking care. So I'm just saying that how the description, because the knowledge or anything, what we see, these all things are delivered, I can say in another word, whatever is required for us. And if we are sincere in our heart, and if we are properly situated, then things are manifested very easily. We don't have to struggle very hard. So in that, we see that Prabhupada is writing in one of the purport. Let me just read. Yes. So it says in the 3rd chapter of this canto, 7th canto, 15th, 16th purport, Prabhupada is saying, yet simply by performing a little devotional service according to the instruction of Narad Muni, Prahlad became so dear to the Lord that the Lord come to save him. Whereas the Hiranyakashipu, in spite of all his austerities, was killed. This is the difference between devotional service and the other method of perfection. So it was like quite amazing when I read one of this purport, that yes, Prahlad Maharaj was just hearing, because in that condition he could not do much. But Hiranyakashipu performed so severe austerities. And Lord, what he did? He killed him. He took away everything, whatever position he had. And here is a small child, Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad Maharaj, he was just praying, he was just remembering the Lord, totally dependent on Lord Krishna. And Lord saved him. So how much we have to be, kind of aligned with the authority, what comes through the parampara. Although it may look very insignificant, but it has a great potency in our life. This Prahlad Maharaj is exemplifying that yes, if we can also take the instruction and apply in our life as coming through the parampara, then it becomes very easy to advance and achieve the success. A small boy, and Narad Muni previously predicting, giving kind of certificate that he is a pure devotee, and after coming also he is preaching the same. And how much glorious his acts are, that Narad Muni, his guru, he is glorifying his disciples. So I'm not saying that yes, our guru has to glorify us, but we have to we have to exemplify ourselves in that such a way that others, they take lesson. You see, Prahlad Maharaj is such an exemplary boy that he was preaching to his all classmates, and they could understand that yes, he is a very nice boy. Because in the first verse, if we are going in the previous chapter, then Prahlad Maharaj is instructing, first only, Kaumar acharet pragyo, dharman bhagavata iha, durlabham manusam janma, tadapi adhurvam arthadam. That he is saying that don't waste, start from the very beginning. So he didn't say you start from the womb, because he was knowing that they are already grown up. Now they are 5 years kid. So that's why he's saying that, okay, Kaumar acharet pragya, now you are in the Kaumar age, start from here. So very important that how they are exemplifying in their own life. And it is inspiring others also. So the more we are taking the instruction in our life, the more we are applying, it is kind of reflected automatically. We don't have to externally show that, okay, I am trying my devotional service, or I am doing something. You do yourself, then it's automatically revealed, and others, they notice also. So in that, I was reading from Prabhupada Lilamrit, and sorry, I just found some of the interesting thing. With Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he said about our Srila Prabhupada. So it's in 1935. It was Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. He came to Mumbai, that time Bombay. So he came to Bombay. There one center was opened, and Bhakti Saranga Maharaj, he was in charge of that mutt at that particular time. So when these all things took place, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur was there. So Bhakti Saranga Maharaj is saying about Prabhupada, means our Prabhupada, that much of the work was done due to Abhay Babu, who had collected funds and established the new center. Why is Abhay living separately? So he's kind of saying that why don't he move it to our ashram? They're taking so much decision, because although he's like Girastha, but he's more than like Vanprastha, he's doing so much things. Then Bhakti Sarang Maharaj asked, he should be the president of this Bombay center. Then Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur is saying, replied, he will do. When the time comes, he will do everything himself. You don't have to recommend him. So at that time, Srila Prabhupada was not there. Later, all the sannyasis and God brothers, they explained him about that, what Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he said about him. So this kind of instance we are seeing that how much if we are sincerely practicing Krishna consciousness, it is reflected. And that's what Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he had so much conviction that when the time will come, he will do it. You don't have to worry or you don't have to recommend for that. So as like sadhaka, sorry. So as a sadhaka, many times the process itself, sometimes it's so long sometimes. For Prahlad Maharaj it is 100 celestial years. For us maybe it's some time, some years. We should not lose our patience. Utsaha nischaya dharya. We have to be convinced that yes, we have to keep patience. That things will work. We have to give time for our preparation. Our preparation of our next journey. Whether it's going to go back to Godhead, whether it's going to preach, whether it's going to do anything. We have to give a time, certain time. And then if we are properly applying in our life, then things will manifest automatically. So that's what we see in the Prahlad Maharaj's life also. That he heard so much. And now he had opportunity. Because a guru, how we understand that he has imbibed the teaching of his guru. Like many times, some of them, they see some person and then he asks, oh, you are his disciples? How do they recognize that one? Because the qualities he exhibited, the qualities he has adopted from his spiritual master. And what Prahlad Maharaj has adopted? Preaching. Because Narad Muni, he always likes preaching. He is not staying in one place. When Daksha, he gave curse, okay, you can't stay in one place for more than 3 days. He said, oh, very thank you, very nice that you are so kind of me, that you gave me such an opportunity that I can travel now so much. So Prahlad Maharaj, he took his training in the womb and now he is in Sandamarka Training Center, and he has opportunity because he has a such nice facility, because these all demons will not go out. Because many times when we preach or when we give class, there are certain things that, okay, if somebody don't like, then they won't go out. And the subject matter is totally different and totally new to them. Hardly they could relate it, because no trace of Krishna consciousness. That's what all the children, they are asking, that how come you got this knowledge? Your father is such demon. There was no audience that some sages will come to your palace. So they were amazed. And Prahlad Maharaj is teaching about the pure devotional service. So this is exemplified that yes, he is so much Krishna conscious that he is not able to stop himself. But he is just looking for the opportunity that when he can preach to others. When Sanda Marka is not there, okay, now then his class starts. He gathers everyone, okay, now please hear me. And as he's the son of king, so natural kind of respect towards him, he took advantage of that. We see in the life of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also, that when he was also kind of giving Krishna consciousness, chanting, Hare Krishna Mahamantra to his students, so they were thinking that now our master has changed. He has become mad. He is not teaching us grammar. He is always mad. Many times he is not chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra also, chanting the name of gopis. So let me recommend him to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And many times they made some plan to beat him also. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that, oh, I came here to give them Krishna consciousness. But if they offend me, then where is the question that they will go back to Godhead? So make me some arrangement so that they can also take up Krishna consciousness very easily. So what to do? So let's take sannyas at that particular moment, because still we see that here in India, the sannyasis, they command respect. Automatically others, they offer pay obeisances, they like to serve, they like to offer some things. So this is very important, which we see that how Prahlad Maharaj also took advantage of this situation. And he was preaching to all his classmates. And what he was teaching? In the next verse when we are going, very importantly he is saying, one must accept the bona fide spiritual master and render service unto him with great devotion and faith. Whatever one has in one possession should be offered to the spiritual master. And in the association of saintly person and devotees, one should worship the Lord. Hear the glories of the Lord with faith, glorify the transcendental qualities and activities of the Lord, always meditate on the Lord's lotus feet, and worship the deity of the Lord strictly according to the injunction of the Shastra and Guru. So Prahlad Maharaj is explaining that yes, what they should do? They should accept a bona fide spiritual master. And for them, for these demons, who can be more dear and near or bona fide person at that particular moment? Because Prahlad Maharaj, because only one access they had, Prahlad Maharaj. In that whole kind of dynasty or anything, no devotees, because Hiranyakashipu already make them out. That okay, you don't have any place over here. And Sanda Marka had a special instruction, and all the military also they had a special instruction that no devotee should come here. So Prahlad Maharaj is a bona fide spiritual master for them. So he is not saying directly that only you should accept me as a authority or your spiritual master. But he is just giving a hint that if they perform devotional service to the bona fide spiritual master, then automatically all these things, knowledge, everything will be revealed to him. And they will become pure. As in the further verses when we are going, in the 36th verse, Prahlad Maharaj is explaining to them that the devotee is then freed from all material contamination. What contamination? Because he constantly thinks of Lord pastime, and because his mind and body have been converted in spiritual qualities. Because of his intense devotional service, his ignorance, material consciousness and all kind of material desires are completely burned to ashes. This is the stage at which one can achieve the shelter of the Lord's lotus feet. So he's saying that okay, now you may have demon body in the ignorance, and you have so much material desires also. So these all things will be finished. How it will finish? Because when you are taking shelter of a bona fide devotee and executing your devotional service, and in that all devotional service, what they are saying, we have to hear about Lord, glorify about Lord in the association of devotee. So when we do this, then our life also becomes very easy. So as I was explaining quite, maybe 10-15 minutes back, that how in the past this Sravanam has been given so much importance, and in the association. Because as Prahlad Maharaj had, I don't know how to say, but less time, although it's like 100 salas a year, but like before birth, he had the opportunity to hear only Narad Muni. After birth, he had no opportunity, and the environment was also different. So as in the past, the sadhus, they used to come to someone's house, or they used to visit to pilgrimage one place to another places. So in between they used to visit some village, and they used to take shelter in the night, or maybe they are staying there for some days. So they had very less time to have association with the saintly persons. And in that particular moment only, they used to instruct these all villagers or whoever was there present. And in that particular time only, they used to hear from that saintly person and meditating on those instructions. And just by meditating and executing the same instruction, whatever the sadhu gave, they used to perfect their life. But as Kali Yuga process, we have more access. We can hear classes. We may have all recordings. Now Prabhupada lecture, everything is available for us. But previously it was not there. So that's what the attentive hearing was given so much stress. But okay, you do that, meditate. The more you meditate, the more you apply in your life, it becomes very, very easy for you. So anyway, we'll just conclude what we discussed in today's topic. So as the chapter goes, what Prahlad learned in the womb, we see that how the schoolmates, the classmates, they actually become amazed with quite philosophical classes of Prahlad Maharaj. So they asked that how come you got about your devotional service? Then he explained that how his mother actually Kayadu, she was in charge, in custody of Narad Muni, and Narad Muni gave instruction to her, and I also heard in the womb, and now I am giving the same knowledge to you. Because of the Narad Muni's mercy, I could remember, and now I am giving you the same. Now if you continue this process, if you also glorify the Lord, if you also continue your devotional service, then your life will also become perfected, although now you are in the body of ignorance and had so much material desires. So I stop here. If any comments or reflection, then we can take, otherwise I'll stop.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
The full lecture, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, you mentioned that Prahlad Maharaj was in the womb of Kayadu Mataji around 100 celestial years. So, Prabhuji, this incident happened in Satyug. So, according to Shastra, Satyug consists of around 1 lakh years. So, 1 lakh years, it means 100 celestial years means 36,500 years, according to our years. So, it means it consists of 1/3 of one's life. And if we see in today's scenario, Sukdev Goswami, he was also in the womb 16 years. That was the incident of Dwapar Yuga. In Dwapar Yuga, the age of people is 1000 years. So it means he was also in not that much time in the womb as Prahlad Maharaj was in the womb. So how can we understand that 1/3 of life of Kayadu Maharaj was pregnant? I mean, I could not.
I was asking yesterday only, because I was also kind of thinking that how come the 100 celestial years Prahlad Maharaj could stay there. So that yes, because of the Narad Muni blessings, it was kind of pause stage. You know, sometimes we pause some button. So it was in that position. But yes, still his all the limbs and everything were active, and that's what he could hear the message of Lord from Narad Muni. So yes, I cannot give you in a very graphic way that how this all thing took place, but as Srimad Bhagavatam is explaining that Kayadu, she took blessings from Narad Muni, that she want to give birth after her husband. She expressed this one. So it is written here. So as Narad Muni, he has some power that yes, he can do that one. So through that he is spiritual, because as we see that how come he knows that he is a pure devotee before his birth. So Prabhupada gives in the purport that only like who knows, he says about some, what is that? Some of them though who dig some, I forgot, maybe, yeah, let me see. kind of person who takes some elements from the earth, take out alloys or something, because they have the knowledge. So similarly, the Narad Muni is expert devotee, so he knows about that, and he has certain powers which he access many times. So yeah, geologist, geologist example. Thank you for reminding me. So in that connection, that yes, the Narad Muni had the power because she asked, she requested, because as we know that many rishis, they had power. Like if you go Parasar Muni, how come he gave birth to Ved Vyas? Like that, because they had certain powers, so they could intervene in these three modes of material nature. So that was my understanding through this scripture and other devotees. If somebody wants to add, they can. Okay, so now we are around 9 o'clock, so we'll stop here. Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari.